Welcome one and all back to War City, and today I'm going to go ahead and be discussing how to join the alliance of your choice. Now, as some of you may know, I've been waiting around looking for a good naval example from Call of War or Supremacy 1914 to show you guys. In doing so, I've started to feel a little bit like this guy. I've been waiting for a while now, so instead, this is what we're going to be covering. So first and foremost, before I begin, I'm going to clarify that there are technically two types of alliances in Supremacy 1914, Call of War, Conflict of Nations, 30 Kingdoms, and New World Empires. The first one and the main one is a PvP alliance, which focuses on player versus player interactions. And that's the one I'm going to be covering first, and the second one is a role-playing alliance. First and foremost, what a PvP alliance is going to focus on is going to be your demeanor. How do you act? Are you getting along with other people? Do they like you? Are you respectful? Are you constantly instigating stuff? If you're doing that, they're not going to be very happy with you for the most part. And your track record. Are you known for joining games and then going absent? What are you known for? Are you known for the blitz style? Are you known for what's your play style, etc., etc., etc.? After they get through getting to know you, as I like to refer to it, the next thing they're going to do is they're going to start looking at your stats. The first thing they're going to look at is your KD ratios. This will give them an idea about your average, on average, how many units you lose to gain, which is an important number when it comes to alliance matches and stuff like that, as well as showing overall skill. Now, they're going to do the same thing in Call of War, and that number is just right, not as quite as convenient. There you go. Right down here. I'm pretty beastie at Call of War. Ha ha ha. See if I can keep that record. Secondly, they're going to look at your rank, because the higher your rank, the better their ranking is going to be, not including alliance matches. So when they calculate these all together, what they'll do is they'll take your ELO rank, which is how many wins versus losses you have as an alliance, challenges, and then they'll take a look at this total score of all your players combined. So for example, on Supremacy 1914, I'm in the top 2,000. I'm a little bit over. I'm ranked 2,233rd. And I'm a lieutenant general. That's pretty good. Most alliances are looking for at least officer ranks. That's going to be lieutenant up. So that's, and of course, as you go up, you'll get better and better and better, so on and so forth. Next up, they're going to look for provinces lost versus gained, which is just right down here. So, for example, I've captured 4,885 provinces and lost 1,850. That's considered pretty good. That's enough to get into a decent PvP alliance, and you should be set. Call of War, you can see that up at the top right here. This is just a useful stat to figure out if they can't figure out how active you are. It gives you a rough idea about how many games you stay active in and fight. Because if you got a great KD ratio, but you are out of games like that, then chances are you're joining games, you're tagging someone, and then you're going out. They don't want that. So the next thing they look at is provinces captured versus gained. Because if you gained a ton of provinces and you haven't lost a lot, that means you're active in your games, and by and large, you'll be winning them. That's good. That's what they want. They're also going to start testing your activity. Sometimes it's common they'll be searching for you in the chat, or they'll add you to their Skype group or their Discord group temporarily, and then they'll just check and see what times you're on. It's a lot easier on Discord, by the way. Because the more active you are, the better you are going to be at the game, and the more you're going to be able to take advantage of things like shoot and scoot and timer ticks and drill formations and all those other things you can learn over time. I will teach you guys those eventually. I don't want to teach you shoot and scoot, though, until I win a 500, because I might regret it. Then the next thing they're going to look at is if you have high command or the premium account, because that also makes it a lot easier. Because alliance games a lot of the times are decided, as silly as it may sound, by 5 minutes. You heard that right. 5 minutes. It can be that intense of who got their units out first, got them together, and sent them to the destination. And that 5-minute gap could be crucial. So if you can queue your units up, that's a plus. You can bypass that again with activity if you prove you're just on all hours of the day. And yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and say for PvP right now, the Blue Sun Corporation, Cobra, and the Hell Legion are recruiting. I'd recommend those 3 for PvP. I will warn you, the Hell Legion is super picky. I mean, you have to have Star State Bengal banners and the aces on all of them, and I also will warn you, I do believe that is a German alliance. I could be mistaken, though, because they all speak English. As for Call of War, I can recommend Pax Romania, TFN, and the Ghost of Anglius. Now let's go ahead and go on to role-playing alliances. So unfortunately, and I'm trying not to be biased here, but it's kind of the truth. The only one that survived for a while and I can personally recommend is the RPU, or the Role Players Union. Reason being, most other RP alliances succumb to internal problems within 2 months. Wolfden. But yeah, that's basically just the problem that they constantly have. They fall into internal problems. The RPU is stable. It doesn't have those problems, and there's a reason why you'll see most of the RPs in the English servers anyway have the RPU tags on them, or the person that created them has an RPU tag, because, well, we make most of the memorable games and most of the ones that people know about, at least the organized community. So what they're going to ask for from you when you join up is they're going to ask for a sample article, which looks a little something like... I wrote this when I was replying to someone to give you an idea. Oop. I'm still used to Supremacy 1914 forms. And there it is. Okay. And then they're just going to ask for something simple, kind of like this. This is the minimum I'd recommend for your sample article. This is about 2 paragraphs. All it is, I said the campaigns that this vehicle is in. I gave some basic stats about it. That's supposed to be a 3. Oops, check for typos. And about a paragraph of how it's used in combat and how it's recommended settings and everything else. And that's about it. Most of the games are the same, but Supremacy 1914 is a little bit different, but I'll go ahead and walk those last 2 things through with you. So you just go over to Alliance ranking. There we go. And then you just search for the alliance you want. Blue Suns. There we go, right there. Supremacy 1914, that's how you do it. Scroll right down here, Blue Sun, and done. All the other games, you just go over to ranking, then you click on alliances, and then you type in whatever alliance you want. So let's do Pax Romania. Ha 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 ha. They're big in Call of War. Okay, well, I might have a situation later. Okay. Anyway, remember to comment and tell me what videos you'd like to see in the future, because I'm still waiting for the naval battles, just because they are exceedingly rare. So they are very, very, very difficult to catch one in the act. But I'm going to keep watching, and as soon as I see one, I'll go ahead and record it and give you some tips on those. But until then, please comment of any other content you want to see on Supremacy 1914, Call of War, Conflict of Nations, New World Empires, or 30 Kingdoms. And remember to click like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a nice rest of your evening.